I wish I was big. Well, when I was younger, it all kind of started with ball control. It just happened to where on the team that I was on, being like growing up and stuff, I was always the one that had the ball control, even though I didn't always have the power. And then as I got older, my vertical kind of just started showing up, and then I started jumping a lot higher. It was a lot easier to put the ball down with power. And then also my ball control helped me with like my cut shots and stuff like that. So it wasn't always power. So that makes it more efficient to score a lot more. Yes, I definitely feel like it was going to be a special season, especially because of us losing our setter that we ran a 5-1 with constantly since my sophomore or my freshman year. So she was a big part of the team, but at the same time, we came into volleyball and everyone stepped up and did their own part to fill that spot that we were missing. And I definitely feel like the start of the season, we were a little iffy on what was going to happen, but I definitely feel like we brought it together and came as a team and we succeeded the way we wanted to.
Extremely.
Yeah.
I think it's not only like her talent that makes her as good as she is, but it's her knowledge of the game. And she's just so smart. Like even talking with other coaches, they're like, I see her go up to hit and I can see her eyes looking across the court and she just places the ball in the holes. And that's the best part about having her on your team is you know those spots that are hard to defend. So watching her score them against other people is just like, yes, good thing it wasn't us. Um, but even sometimes, I'll get caught up in the game and she's our floor captain and she'll see things that I don't see. And, she'll mention to the ref, hey, she's back row or, whatever. And I'm like, you're right. Tell them because I get so caught up that I even forget those things. And so it's just her knowledge of the game alone. I think she watches probably like hours and hours of film every week. And so she's just smart. Like she's talented. She's an athlete, but she's a student of the game. And it's just really, really cool to have someone that's just so well-rounded. Yes, sometimes they're like, "Nope, I'm not even gonna be here, I'm not even gonna play it," but I think having the power coming at us in practice, has helped us a lot, and even when we're playing some other teams, I'll have her be our scout hitter, and it's just really nice to have someone that can do that and help our team get better too every day.
A lot of times it's like some of the girls on our team, especially our libero this last year, she was purposely putting herself on the opposite side of the court as me. And she was like, I need you to make me work, like help
Mm,
me at practice today and make me work. And I feel like that was a very efficient part of our practices is they wanted to get better. So they wanted to work hard in practice that way. So I feel like
nice.
that helped a lot. It definitely was. I feel like a lot of people automatically would have assumed that like she'd come in and she'd be coaching me and we would just butt heads constantly. But even we thought it was going to be that way. But we came out and it was a whole different story. We stepped on the court and she was no longer my sister. She was someone who has so much knowledge of the game and knows so much about it that like coaching it is just something that came easily to her. And I feel like with that, it helped me a lot because having someone with that knowledge of the game coaching me, it was like I can look at her and just talk volleyball with her and she understands completely what I'm saying. I feel like a lot of times coaches don't really understand like if you have more knowledge than the coach, sometimes it's hard to understand what is going on between y'all's two heads. So I feel like with her as my coach, it was different because it was like I said one thing and she would like before I even finished, she had the answer and stuff like that. So it was amazing.
It's been really cool. A lot of people are like, how do you coach her? How do you handle things? Do you punish her differently? And I'm like, no, I don't even realize half the time that she is my sister. But I think, like she's saying, we both just love the game so much that once we get out there, we're competitors. And the way that we compete, we just, go on and we're ready to win a game. I don't even, sometimes where she's like, well, that's not working. I'm like, well, then figure it out. I don't know what else to tell you. That
Yeah,
may be the only time that I can see it to where it's like we're sisters and I probably wouldn't tell anybody else figure it out. But
right.
I can tell her and she does figure it out. But it's just been so cool. I never thought that, the Lord would place us where we are now and let us write this story together and make the memories that we have. And so it's just been really cool to see it all come together. You know, my mom jokes all the time. She's like, I could never coach your sister because, you know, she was my coach in high school. And I'm like, you're right. Y'all's relationship is so different. Y'all would butt heads all the time, but it's been really cool. And I don't know, you don't ever realize it until, you know, you are like that Fairfield game and it's like, okay, wow, it really is over. And that's kind of the times where you notice it. And, you know, the regional tournament the past 2 years when season ends, that's when it hits you that, you know, another one's over. We've only got 2 left. And then after this one, we've only got 1 left. And now we don't have any more left, but it's exciting to just make these memories that we have together. It's been really cool, like, just going back, like she was saying, from times to where, like, I made her pepper in the road with me at the house, and she didn't wanna go outside all the time, but I was like, "No, you're coming outside. It's either you or Cameron, and you're the better one, so come play with me." So it's been fun, you know, like, she used to lay under the club or the chairs at the club tournaments while I was playing, so just to, like, you know, go back and watch her play now, it's been really cool to just have a front row seat. Yes, it at first, it started off really rocky,
Mm.
and at that point, you know, during that second set, I was like, "Okay, here we go. We're about to get swept by Fairfield. This is not, you know, what we how we wanted to end our season." And I told them, you know, like, "You've gotta dig deep. Like, you have it in you. I believe in you. You've gotta dig deep, and you've gotta fight together." And they did. I told them in the locker room, I could not be more proud of the way that they fought back because I think everyone in that gym was like, "Well, it's about to be over." And to just see the determination and like the heart and the grit, you know, in their eyes and watching them fight together was just really fun. Like I'm happy that not that we wanted our time to end that fast and we weren't ready for that, but to watch them end like that, it was really cool.
So whenever I started playing select volleyball, I was 8.
Mm.
And really, it was kinda like, I was in the gym all the time, I was at club tournaments all the time with my sister, and so it was kinda just seeing her play, seeing everyone else play there, I was like, "This looks so much fun, I wanna do it." So I started playing club volleyball, and I just fell in love with it, and it was just what I've done ever since. Um, well, a lot of freshman season is a little cloudy. I just because of the fact that COVID was going on at the time, our schedule wasn't as long as normal. But I definitely feel like the evolution of our team throughout those years, even though we haven't had the same players every single year, a lot of the times it was like spots of the same girls. So I feel like we always stayed together as a team, skill wise and like personal wise. And it wasn't hard to bring new people in, and we were always like acceptable to everybody else. And so I
Mm.
feel like that kept our team program really strong, growing as we did. And that's what got us as far as we did each year.